About 2 days ago, I visited a friend's house and saw that they had done a great job getting ready for the Lunar New Year. The living room was neat and tidy. The furniture had been wiped clean, the curtains looked brand new, and a few decorative items added a very elegant touch. But one detail caught my eye. Right above the sofa, they had hung a fairly large painting, a painting of horses galloping at full speed in deep reddish-brown tones. I have to say, it was a beautiful piece of art, and since this year is the year of the horse, many people might naturally assume that hanging a horse painting is the perfect fit. But when it comes to Feng Shui, it is not that simple. In fact, this particular painting is not a good choice for this year. To understand why that is, and how to choose the right painting that can attract wealth while also bringing peace and harmony to your home in the year 2026, stay with me through the rest of this video. If you already have a painting hanging in your living room and you are not sure whether it is appropriate or not, just leave a comment below. I will read it and share more thoughts in upcoming videos. Now, let's get back to our main topic. The Feng Shui energy system of the Year of the Fire Horse, 2026. Before choosing the right painting for your living room, it is important to understand the Feng Shui energy system of the Year of the Fire Horse in 2026. Only by understanding the year's energy flow can you pick artwork that truly aligns and enhances your space. According to the lunar calendar, 2026 is the Year of the Fire Horse. In Chinese metaphysics, this year carries the heavenly stem Bing and the earthly branch Wu, both representing the fire element and symbolized by the horse. That is why it is called the Year of the Fire Horse. Because both the stem and branch belong to fire, many believe fire will dominate the year. As a result, they often pick art and decor that add even more fire energy. However, if we look deeper into the Feng Shui system, the true force guiding the year is the inner element, which in 2026 is called heavenly river water, water that falls from the sky, like rain. This creates a unique energy pattern. On the surface, the fire energy makes the year feel fast-moving and intense, but the heavenly river water underneath acts as a stabilizer. It cools, guides, and helps energy flow smoothly instead of burning out. This water is not weak. It spreads widely, nourishes, and brings harmony, based on the 5-element cycle. Metal creates water, so metal offers strong support this year. Water creates wood, helping plants thrive and bringing fresh life to your home. Water controls fire, but in this case, it balances it gently instead of overpowering it. Earth controls water, but here it guides rather than blocks. Because of this, the most favorable elements in 2026 are metal, water, and wood. So, paintings with themes of water, metal objects, or lush greenery are ideal, especially in the living room, which is the energetic center of your home. The right art here can enhance flow, attract wealth, and create a balanced atmosphere. Here are the painting themes you should prioritize. 9 Koi Gathering, a symbol of long-term abundance. The 9 Koi Gathering painting, which depicts 9 koi fish swimming together, is one of the most stable and reliable choices for the living room in 2026. In Eastern culture, koi fish are associated with persistence, resilience, and the ability to overcome obstacles over the long haul. The number 9 symbolizes completeness and longevity. So, overall, this type of painting is often seen as a symbol of sustained, accumulating wealth rather than fast money that comes and goes quickly. Energetically, koi fish belong to the water element. In the context of the heavenly river water energy of 2026, the water energy from this painting helps create a smooth, adaptable atmosphere in the living room, making it easier to maintain balance in daily life. If the painting also includes white lotus flowers, metallic reflections, or bright shimmering details, these elements introduce the metal energy. This forms a nourishing metal-to-water cycle, which helps stabilize and strengthen the energy flow within the home. This type of painting is especially well suited for homeowners involved in business, investing, or anyone looking to expand their network of relationships because its energy supports continuity, growth, and connection. Smooth sailing, supporting clear direction and steady progress. The Year of the Horse brings a clear theme of movement and change, which is why a painting of a sailing ship is considered a good fit for homeowners who want their work and projects to progress smoothly without interruption. In the smooth sailing painting, the most important detail is not the size or the colors, it is the direction the ship is facing. The bow of the ship should face into the room, symbolizing money and opportunity being brought into the house. If the ship is pointed outward, the energy can be interpreted as dispersing or flowing away. From an energy standpoint, the water depicted in the painting helps balance out the intense fire element that is naturally strong in 2026. This, in turn, supports the homeowner in staying calm and clear-headed when making decisions, especially those related to work and finances. Mountain and water harmony. Waterfalls, creating balance and nourishment. A mountain and water painting is a classic combination of mountains and flowing water. Mountains represent stability and support. Water represents flow, nourishment, and the circulation of vital energy. In the year 2026, paintings with gentle, steady streams and a natural gathering point are considered better choices than paintings of steep waterfalls or fast, aggressive water currents. Hanging this kind of landscape painting in the east or southeast direction of the living room can enhance vitality and bring a sense of calm, both of which are especially important in a year full of fast-moving energy. Peacock paintings and other metal element symbols, strengthening authority and stability. The peacock is a symbol of elegance, nobility, and order. In Feng Shui, the round, even patterns on its tail feathers are seen as balanced and reflective, capable of absorbing and circulating light. Since metal generates water in the five-element cycle, paintings that carry metal energy like peacocks, swans, or deer in white, silver, or light gold tones are excellent for supporting the energy flow in 2026. This group of paintings is especially suitable for homeowners who need stability in status or reputation, or who want to maintain harmony and reduce turbulence within the household. Placement of paintings, according to the Flying Star system, in 2026. Once you have chosen a painting theme, the next thing to think about is where to hang it in your living room. According to the Flying Star Feng Shui system, each direction in your house is affected by a specific energy star that changes every year. Hanging artwork in the right spot can bring good energy, while the wrong spot may disturb the energy flow. In 2026, here are the key directions to focus on. First is the center of the house, or the central area of the living room. In 2026, the number 1 white star linked to the water element moves into this space. This star governs relationships, support, and helpful people. It is best to keep this area clean, open, and clutter-free. Choose artwork in light shades like soft blue or white, with calm imagery and open space. This setup encourages harmony in both family and social ties and increases support from others. Next, the southeast direction is traditionally linked to wealth. In 2026, the number 7 red star appears here. Though this star can be aggressive, the southeast belongs to the wood element. When combined with this year's heavenly river water energy, it creates a chance for positive change. Hang paintings with water themes like Nine Koi Gathering, peaceful rivers, or gentle waterfalls to support a water-to-wood cycle. This helps protect wealth and smooth financial flow. Avoid intense or fiery-colored paintings here. Finally, the north is another key area in 2026. The number 6 white star, tied to the metal element, rules this spot. North belongs to water, and since metal feeds water, this mix supports career growth and long-term stability. Choose paintings with clear metal energy, like peacocks, swans, metallic touches, or a smooth sailing painting with the ship pointed inward. This boosts personal influence and career advancement. Other areas to consider. Besides the auspicious zones, some other areas in the living room also need attention. The east is best paired with paintings of lush greenery, bamboo, orchids, or mountain and river scenes to support health and family harmony. The northwest and west, affected by stars linked to health and conflict, should feature paintings in white, grey, or metallic tones, or those with a simple and neat design. Avoid dynamic or fiery-colored artworks in these directions. The importance of painting size in Feng Shui. When choosing a painting for your living room, many people focus only on the subject or placement and overlook another crucial factor: the size of the painting. Size is not just about what looks good or fits the space. In Feng Shui, the size determines whether a painting falls into an auspicious or inauspicious energy zone. That is why, instead of a regular measuring tape, Feng Shui practitioners use the Luban ruler. The Luban ruler is divided into specific sections, each representing a different type of energy, some favorable, some not. When a painting's size falls into a favorable zone, it is said to harmonize with the energy of the space. But if it falls into an unfavorable zone, even the most beautiful and well-placed painting can lose its positive effect. For wall art, the most commonly used version is the 42.9 centimeter Luban ruler, which is about 16.9 inches. Each cycle of this ruler is 42.9 centimeters long, or approximately 16.9 inches, and divided into alternating good and bad energy zones. When measuring your painting, you do not need to worry about which cycle you are in. Just measure the outer frame dimensions, not just the image itself, to see where it falls on the ruler. Measure width from the outer edge of the left frame to the outer edge of the right frame. Measure height from the top edge to the bottom edge of the outer frame. If you have a Luban ruler, simply check which zone the full measurement lands in. If you do not have a Luban ruler, you can use a regular measuring tape and then compare the measurement in centimeters and inches to the following auspicious zones. Nobleman zone, around 15 to 16 centimeters, or about 5.9 to 6.3 inches. 58 to 59 centimeters, or about 22.8 to 23.2 inches. 101 to 102 centimeters, or about 39.8 to 40.2 inches. This zone supports helpful people, good relationships, and mentorship. Fortune and prosperity zone, around 21 to 22 centimeters, or about 8.3 to 8.7 inches. 64 to 65 centimeters, or about 25.2 to 25.6 inches. 107 to 108 centimeters, or about 42.1 to 42.5 inches. It represents abundance, peace, and family stability. Heavenly Wealth Zone, around 26 to 27 centimeters, or about 10.2 to 10.6 inches. 69 to 70 centimeters, or about 27.2 to 27.6 inches, 112 to 113 centimeters, or about 44.1 to 44.5 inches. This zone is linked to financial opportunities and is ideal for koi fish, sailing ships, or landscape paintings. Prime Minister Zone, around 31 to 32 centimeters, or about 12.2 to 12.6 inches, 74 to 75 centimeters, or about 29.1 to 29.5 inches, 117 to 118 centimeters, or about 46.1 to 46.5 inches. This zone represents reputation, authority, and leadership, great for business families or people in management. But how do you measure a painting correctly? When measuring a wall painting, you should always measure the overall size, meaning including the frame, not just the artwork inside. The width is measured from the outer left edge of the frame to the outer right edge of the frame. The height is measured from the top outer edge of the frame down to the bottom outer edge. If you have a Luban ruler, you don't need to worry about the exact number of centimeters. Simply measure the overall size and check which section, auspicious or inauspicious, it falls into on the ruler. If you don't have a Luban ruler, you can absolutely use a regular measuring tape. Measure the size in centimeters, then compare it with the auspicious dimension ranges mentioned earlier and apply them accordingly. The most important principle is to avoid clearly inauspicious dimensions, which are commonly associated with loss, disputes, or instability. If both the width and the height fall into auspicious ranges, that is ideal. Choosing a living room painting carefully from the beginning helps create a more stable, harmonious, and comfortable living space throughout the year. And if you still have questions about Feng Shui, destiny, or anything related to home energy, feel free to leave them in the comments below. We'll explore and answer them together in future videos.